Thursday, July 29th. And on Tuesday, they started the January 6th Commission. They're starting to gather information with respect to the events that happened that day at the Capitol, which I will call an insurrection. And as I review the videotapes from that day, I find that I'm really horrified by the actions that took place that day. That, in my mind, was only the beginning. And when I think about it and I think about the things that were said that day, that could be quite upsetting. The president declaring these people loving people, telling them that he'll be down there walking with them.
And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
We're decent citizens and just tourists in the Capitol marching quietly through the building. And we have footage from the body cameras of the police. And we have footage of other cameras that were in the building. And they tell an entirely different story. So I want you to listen to some of the things that were said. And take a look at some of the scenes that were on those footages. And think about what I've just said. And think about what you are thinking about this major event. And will we recover sufficiently to continue our business?
There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
Or are we going to continue to lie and blame this on others? And declare that the BLM movement is much worse than this event, and spread lies about what the facts associated with the BLM movement as compared to the insurrection of January 6th. And the problem with all of this is that we have a universe of people who believe that the election was stolen. We have a universe of people who believe that Trump should return to office. And that's even more disturbing. And when you see the members of that universe in the mob at the Capitol, dressed in fighting gear, body armor, carrying weapons and baseball bats, and spear-like flag, the oath takers, the Proud Boys. Those are the people that the president said, stand back, stand back. He didn't say go home, take a shower. He said stand back. So this is a day that will truly live in infamy in this country. This is a day that I hope all the facts come out, and I hope that many people are capable of changing their minds, even though I seriously doubt that.
Some of the people who breached the Capitol today were not Trump supporters.
There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie.
19 people died during BLM riots last year. Hundreds and hundreds were injured. 2,000 police officers were injured from BLM riots last year. And yet, we're going to discuss today, as if none of that happened, the events of January the 6th. The hypocrisy of this body is indeed disturbing.
If people who were involved, who were scared shitless and were running to hide from the mob, could come out later on and say they were tourists. And one of the people who was saying they're tourists, he was helping the policemen barricade themselves in. So tell me, do you barricade yourself in when tourists come into the building? No. So for whatever reason, there were many who were there and have now chosen to tell lies about the event. And if they're telling lies just to protect themselves for the next re-election, then it tells me an awful lot about a lot of people, their constituents, who have heard these lies. And if they are going to continue to elect these people, this country is in big, big trouble. So I will leave you with that for the time being, and we can watch. Let's all watch and see how this turns out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Stand back and stand by.
And that's what they did. They have a history of street violence and will be key instigators of the riot. We'll return to them soon. Although the rally is billed as a political protest, some make calls to storm the Capitol even before Trump speaks.
We are going to the Capitol, where our problems are. It's that direction.
And later, when Trump does take the stage,
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
some hear his words as a call to action.
You'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Invade the Capitol building.
Do the right thing.
Take the Capitol.
Take it.
Take the Capitol right
Everyone
now.
here will soon be marching over to
I'm back with this question. After seeing these clips, do any of you believe that it was only tourists there? Do any of you believe that Trump had nothing to do with this? Do any of you believe that this was not an insurrection? And I will leave you with that thought. Was it or was it not an insurrection?